There's a reason why you've already watched dozens of videos on prosperity, read the books, journaled the quotes, and yet, you still feel like something isn't clicking. It's not a lack of motivation. It's not a lack of effort. And it's definitely not a lack of information. The problem is deeper, quieter, and much more uncomfortable. Most money content teaches you what to think. Hardly anyone explains how your brain decides what you even notice in the first place. And this is exactly where almost everyone fails. Today, you're not going to hear another inspirational speech. You're going to understand the invisible neurological mechanism that decides before you even try whether wealth will be visible or invisible to you. Napoleon Hill called it a definite purpose. At the time, it sounded almost mystical, intuitive, difficult to prove. But modern science has finally caught up. Today, we know that what Hill described wasn't just a philosophical concept. It was and is a real, measurable neurological function active inside your brain. It's called the Reticular Activating System, or simply the RAS. The RAS is a filter, a silent guardian of your perception. Your brain processes about 11 million bits of information per second, but you are only consciously aware of, at most, 50. Think about that. Millions come in. Almost everything is discarded. The question that defines your financial life isn't, how do I make more money? The real question is, what is my brain authorized to perceive? Without a clear target, your brain enters power-saving mode. It cuts, filters, and ignores. The RAS is not your friend. It is efficient. Anything that doesn't seem relevant to your survival, your identity, or your clear goals is treated as background noise. This includes ideas, people, connections, opportunities, entire financial pathways. You don't miss opportunities. You never even see them. And here is the part almost no one has the courage to say. If you don't have a purpose defined with neurochemical clarity, your brain is actively working against your prosperity. Not out of malice, but by design. Most people believe the subconscious mind responds to logic. That is a fatal mistake. The subconscious responds to repetition, emotion, and mental imagery. Napoleon Hill made this clear when he stated, "Whatever the mind can conceive and believe can be achieved." But he was not talking about the conscious mind. He was referring to the deepest level where beliefs become personal laws. You aren't just asking the universe. You are instructing neurons to fire together. And when neurons fire together repeatedly, they create circuits, pathways, mental shortcuts. This changes what catches your attention, what you believe is possible, who you listen to, who you ignore, and which risks feel acceptable. This is why two people can live in the same world, yet inhabit completely different financial realities. Everything you've heard so far explains why your brain ignores opportunities. But what almost no one explains is the exact moment that filter shifts. Because there is a precise point, a measurable one, where the brain stops treating wealth as noise and starts treating it as signal. And when that happens, the very same opportunities that have been around you all along cease to be invisible. For years, the term vibration was treated as something vague. almost esoteric. But today, we know. Vibration is just a simplified way of talking about your dominant neural frequency. Recurring thoughts generate recurring electrical patterns. Recurring electrical patterns generate predictable emotional states. Predictable emotional states shape behavior, and behavior creates results. When Hill spoke about transmuting desire into wealth, he was describing what neuroscience now calls directed synaptic plasticity. You don't make the invisible visible by magic. You make it visible because your brain stops discarding it. If all of this is true, then there is an inevitable question. Why do so many intelligent, informed, and disciplined people remain financially stagnant? Even while consuming this exact type of content, the answer isn't a lack of effort, nor is it a lack of knowledge. It's something much more silent and far more common than you imagine. Here is the reason why so many videos on prosperity sound exactly the same. They speak to the conscious mind, but they ignore the unconscious filtering system. Motivation doesn't change filters. Pretty quotes don't change filters. Not even willpower can do it. Without redefining your purpose at a neurological level, every bit of new knowledge hits the RAS and is discarded. That is why intelligent people remain financially stagnant. It's not a lack of capability. It's a lack of brain permission. There is one final detail that is almost never mentioned. Even when someone understands all of this, even when the brain starts to perceive new possibilities, most people still don't change their lives, not because they can't, but because they haven't redefined who they are. And this is where everything is decided. The truth is simple and uncomfortable. You aren't where you are financially because of a lack of information. You are where you are because your brain has been trained to see this current level as normal. This is why the supporting principles exist. Decision eliminates doubt. Persistence prevents the new program from being replaced by the old one. The mastermind reinforces the suggestion through environment. Everything converges toward a single objective: to keep the same mental image alive long enough for the subconscious mind to accept it as identity. When this happens, money is no longer chased. It is attracted as a natural consequence of who you have become internally. Is your brain configured to perceive prosperity when it shows up? Because the truth is, it has already passed you by countless times. You just didn't see it. If this video made you think differently, then it has served its purpose. Here, we don't talk about shortcuts. We talk about real mechanisms. Thank you for watching. If this resonated with you, please subscribe to our channel and like this video. Also, turn on the notification bell so you never miss a post. I'll see you in the next video.